Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Bashem Rakak Wadash. My name is Yakalba from Plain Tables Camp of Philly. This is General Yohana's, rebuttal to IUIC. I guess it was America on Fire. I guess it's his page he live streams on. And one part he was saying, like in the beginning, just want to use that part as an example. We're not, on good terms with either group, ISUPK or IUIC. I was using what he said, as a opportunity to edify, because our elders said the same thing. And so I guess General Yohana had the same information about Nathaniel Alaga, General Nathaniel Alaga, having being like some kind of law enforcement agent or something like that. So it's coming from more than one place. So there's something there. I believe there's something there. I can't prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt that the IUIC general is an informant or used to be an informant and work with law enforcement, but it's an opportunity to edify. All right. Because if you constantly around, well, like our elders used to say, or they still say, that we have, informants, agents, law enforcement agents in all the camps in Great Millstone, and don't be naive to believe that there aren't. Just because a brother, shows up, holds posts or asks questions doesn't mean he's not an informant. All right. In order to know somebody, you gotta know them for you gotta know them for like 15 years. All right. At least a good solid decade, know their parents, cousins and family members, habits. You kind of know what they're going to say before they say it. You really got to know them. Otherwise, if you don't know like anything about them besides they come to camp, you really don't know that person. All right. And some brothers like that, just come to camp. All right. So you got to prove who the hell you are before you can really be, trusted, naive. Don't be naive. So having or showing lack of experience, judgment, or information. So yeah, we had brothers that was in the camp that had exhibited weird behavior. Because after you've been in this thing for a little while, you're supposed to know, you're supposed to know how to behave and how to, and what are doctrines that want to trap you and throw you off the course of being deliberate. You have people coming in talking about something they believe they're King David, they believe they're Elijah, and all this weird shit. Those are people brothers trying to bring in damn over here. Well, they ain't brothers. Those are informants or false prophets trying to bring in damnable heresies. All right. Yeah, one guy that was in the camp that said that there was bases on the moon, like pyramid bases or something like that. And another one said there were, I don't know if it's the same one, said there was like portals in ancient Babylon, or I don't know where the portals led to, but I remember something about being portals. Another one was like pyramids on the moon bases. So those are obviously like novices, or they're informants, or bringing damnable heresies to try to change the doctrine, because we never learned that or taught that. So that's not even like near anything we ever said. Like you can make a mistake, like it'll be something like near, like a degree off to the left or to the right, but that's just completely inaccurate doctrine. It's not like a mistake. Oh, I mixed two scriptures together, and I didn't remember this part of the breakdown, but I remember this part from the other breakdown. No, that's completely a false doctrine about being portals, leading somewhere, coming from somewhere, going like a Stargate or something like that, or a moon base. There's like bases on the moon or pyramids on the moon. All right, so don't be naive. You got people that are going to come into your group that are going to try to change the doctrine and try to slowly, gradually convince you of weird shit that we've never learned or even believe. All right, like the flat Earth shit. The dude from Virginia said, "When we gonna learn something new?" Like he learned everything already, and like that's what it's about, learning something new all the time. No, it's not about that. It's about preaching the gospel that we learned over and over and over again. And as we receive, more information, then we teach that. But we never received about the earth being flat and there being pyramids in the moon and portals in Babylon. All right. So whatever those men are, whether they informants, false prophets, law enforcement, don't be naive to believe that they're not among you, whether they're in the camp or they come around and say shalom or shalom. All right. Always observe weird behavior. People trying to break down scriptures, and then it's not how we would talk. All right, because the reason why we're in Great Millstone is because we believe the report, as the scriptures say. Who believed that report? Who is the arm of the Most High revealed? Roughly paraphrased, we believe the report of the prophets. All right. So if we don't believe that report, then we can just leave. All right. So the reason why we're still here is because we believe the report. All right. Having marked by simple, ineffectively direct style, reflecting little or no formal training or technique. Yeah, to say a statement like that, like there's a pyramids on the moon. No lack of training and technique. Like we got a guy in a camp, he's totally fucking ignorant. That's partially our fault. All right? But again, if a dude's just fucking stupid, then ain't nothing you can really do. You gotta like correct the guy, and if he keeps fucking up, if he keeps fucking up, you just gotta get rid of him. If a guy's saying he's King David, or he's Elijah, like this, you can only so much you can like rebuke the dude. You like, this dude's just weird. There's something else going on beyond him just saying he believes he's King David. All right. So first scripture I got here is yeah, 1 Corinthians 15:33. As Paul's going into the dead being raised, reincarnation, which the Christians believe don't exist. All right. Because when we martyrs, they have a body waiting for them in the spirit world, and they're going to have a body form when they come back to the earth, into the terrestrial plane. All right. 1 Corinthians 15:34, awake to righteousness and sin not, for some, 15:33, be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners. Evil communications. You got a guy that's talking about he believes he's King David. He thinks he's exhibiting tribute to being King David. All right. Or a guy that's like the elders used to go into this, like a guy that's really, he's a little too helpful. He's a little too nice. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? It ain't no way this person's this fucking nice. He buying computer equipment, microphones and shit. Unless he's some brothers could be could be well off. And we have everything we need anyway. But a guy that's a little too nice, you got to watch out for. He always have what you need. He might be an informant. He might work for the FBI. And be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. So communications, G3657. G3657, I think it's homilia. Accent mark right there for Omicron. Homilia, companionship, intercourse, communion. The sharing or exchange of intimate thoughts and feelings, especially when the exchange is on a mental or spiritual level. All right, so you have evil communication. Evil communication, meaning you talk and you share things. What are you sharing? Things that are not biblical. All right. Or what of this? So why did this happen? Did that mean Solomon married prostitutes or something like that? What the king, Queen of Sheba? No, that's another doctrine. He had children with the Queen of Sheba. He had cannabis in his field. Solomon had cannabis in his field. Like what? These guys just want to fucking smoke weed. All right. Weed is a medicinal plant used for healing. You look up the benefits of marijuana, and it's not to be smoked. But people bring in doctrines because they just want to be fucking drug addicts and escape reality. All right. They want to bring in different doctrines because they believe they have information to add. You know, there's a precept on that. We look up 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter. Talk about all us being prophets, and then you have an unbeliever, and then he's converted. All right, we read up a little bit right here, 24, 25. Then you go down to 26. It says, "How is it then? Like, how the hell is a damn moon base going to edify you, or a portal to another dimension, or some other part of the earth or universe going to edify?" Or you being King David and Elijah. So we supposed to listen to your ass now because you King David and you Elijah. All right. How 1 Corinthians 14:26. How is it then, brethren, when ye come together, every one of you hath a psalm, hath a doctrine, like bringing in new shit? What the hell is this guy talking about? I got a question. Hath a tongue, hath a revelation, hath an interpretation, let all things be done into edifying. Yeah, because brothers were bringing in some weird shit in all the camps. You got newer brothers that come and asking these odd questions like, when the hell, how long have you been in the faith? This is a weird damn question. I mean, you should ask questions if you're unsure, but some of these questions be very peculiar. Some of the questions that we get, it's lawful to do this, it's lawful to do that. Some of them be on point, but we heard some strange things asked, to the leadership in our camp, and I'm sure the other camps also. How is it then, brethren, when ye come together, every one of you hath a psalm, hath a doctrine, hath a tongue. You got a doctrine. That's a good one. Have a revelation, You have a dream. This happened, just because you see a brother's face in a dream, don't mean he's wicked. All right. Hath an interpretation, let all things be done unto edifying. And I'll say that by the Spirit. You might have a brother that have a dream and it has a brother doing something unlawful. It don't mean that, that dreams have different dimensions. All right. Visions have different dimensions. All right. You could have a dream that a brother that you respect is doing something wicked and evil. That very well could be that the Lord is telling you that you're going to have brothers that are presumed to be righteous, doing the right thing, that are going to fall off. Because it may be secretly behind the scenes they're doing something wicked. All right, but it doesn't mean the faith that you actually saw is the one that's going to commit that act. All right, so you got to look at different dimensions of your visions and dreams. It's not just straightforward all the time, All right. So you're going to have guys, damn lawnmower outside. Oh, y'all can't hear that. You're going to have people that are going to try to bring in what scripture say, damnable heresies. All right. Whether they of old or they're young, the scripture I'm referring to. I may be mixing up two scriptures. All right. All right. So stick to the doctrine. All right. We have plenty of resources, the elders and apostles. If you do have a question, ask it. But guys that have been in the thing for a couple of years, there's certain simple ass questions that you shouldn't be asking. All right. But it shows you that, you never know what another man's thinking. All right. Because you might think he's on some type of level, but then you make a simple mistake like this, like, damn, what the fuck? I didn't expect you to do that. Sometimes, you make mistakes, but it's disappointing when you see certain people make certain mistakes. All right. But we all have repentance, and forgiveness in Yahweh Shai. All right, just be honest and sincere. We can get over it. All right, but don't be naive. Informants, law enforcement, they're around, they're hovering around, or they in your camp. All right, and you especially know them when they try to bring in different revelations, different doctrines. All right, especially when they don't have nothing to do with edifying. So have an interpretation. Like, yeah, it sounds plausible, but that's not really not what we were taught, and that's not really it's not really even edifying. You just hold it. You don't got to say your whole mind when you have an interpretation or revelation. I haven't told all my visions to the camp. I've had powerful visions. I've only told maybe one or two people. Some of them may have been elders, some of them may have not been elders in the camp. All right. But I don't tell my whole mind. Scripture says like a fool tells his whole mind. 1 Corinthians 14:27, an unknown tongue speak. All right. So right there. So this is the next one. I had them like a certain order, but just gonna read them. 2 John 1:10. If there come any into you and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. Yeah. So the prophecies, the law, what's going to become us in the future. That's the thing that we got to work with. Not what dynasty of the Egyptians were they in when we were in slavery in Egypt. That's not edifying. You had a simple-minded dude come up and ask us what dynasty was the Egyptians in when we were in slavery in Egypt. Like, this dude just need to leave. All right, just go on about your business, man. Get back on your bike and go get a fucking water ice or something. For he that biddeth him God. All right, so look, yeah, we can't receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. All right, a lot of these guys are just reprobates. All right, evil communications. I looked up communicate. I didn't look up manners. Did I look up manners? Yeah, I didn't look up manners. 2239. Ethos. Custom, morals, evil communication. Sorry for schlocky for jumping around. Hope I finished it right correctly the first time, or at least part of it. Customary state. Yeah, we got a customary state of doing things. Evil communication, corrupt good manners. All right. You got a spirit that want to come in and want to like switch stuff up. That's why a guy that just came in last, he can't become an elder in the camp. Like in 5 years, you gotta take. It's gonna take a minute for him to become an elder in the camp. You got to be trusted with certain things. You got to know certain things about you, naturally. You know, with a guy that we don't know nothing about, man, you'll be holding us on forever. All right, just telling you the truth. All right, a customary abode, dwelling place, haunting. A customary state, usage, morals, character. All right, evil communication, corrupt good customary states. Like what we accustomed to. We do this. We used to doing this, and then a guy bring up something new. If it's lawful, we'll consider it, obviously. But if it's off, it's up to the elder brothers in the camp to make a judgment whether we should invite that custom in. All right. It says habits, manners. All right. I think you get the point. EV communications, 636, 57. Let's go back to that because I think I skipped over the second part of it. Manners, companionship, intercourse, communion, companionship. Being associated. That's why the elders and the apostles said that we are not to have companionship outside of shalom. With the brothers that that we're cordial with. Shalom, because they're technically not within our group, so we can't really like break bread with them, so we gotta just keep it, surface level, shalom, greetings here and there. We can see they're doing, the right, the thing externally, so we just leave it at that. But they're not within our group, so we gotta, to protect ourselves. We can't be, and protect the group. We guys got to be responsible for our own, ultimately, you know. And prove, well, naive, not having previously been subject of a scientific experiment as an animal. Naive. All right. Having marked by a simple, ineffectively direct style, reflecting little or no formal training or technique. All right. Because if you're naive, that means you haven't gone through any test to be proven to be skillful in whatever you're endeavoring. All right, let's move forward. I'll have that up twice. 1533. All right. Something else getting mixed up. Matthew 24, 24 and 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Yeah, you got, apparently, you got law enforcement amongst that group, that the purple group, where the purple, they apparently their leader is somehow involved in law enforcement, or used to be involved in law enforcement. So it's just, so our elders and apostles weren't the only ones that were saying it. All right, so using that as as a teaching moment, like we have to have informants and government agents among our group, among Great Millstone. All right, and false prophets, and it's wicked ass dudes that's still in the streets, still doing demonic shit. All right, and when I'm bringing different doctrines and slowly try to tweak, you can't do that if you an established group. You ain't no year one guy, year 2, 4, 5 guy going to come in and start teaching y'all stuff. All right, that's not possible if you rooted and grounded. And many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. Now, every brother has something to add. I'm talking about like earth shattering, groundbreaking information that's going to change the course and direction of your camp. No year 1, year 5 guy gonna come in and do that. All right. And many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right. That's Yahweh Shai, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we got to endure to the end. So I think I have 2 in Sirach. Be at peace with many, nevertheless. Have but one counselor of 1,000. All right. So we're not supposed to be learning from a bunch of different groups. All right. And we shouldn't have to keep repeating, like, okay, if you're not rooted and grounded, you shouldn't be listening. You shouldn't be listening to Yohana or IUIC. See what's going on, because you're gonna get confused on certain things. The core of what they teach, it's the same thing what we teach, the core, but we start going into the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. The ISUPK doesn't believe that the RFID microchip is a mark of the beast. They call it Black Watch. What the hell is that? The hell is Black Watch? With commanding General Yohana. All right. So if you not spiritually grounded, you shouldn't be watching this guy, because you're gonna get confused. You're still trying to figure things out, and you're gonna come follow us, but then you confused. I mean, see, I've never been like that. I could watch anybody and just filter and say, okay, yeah. But the thing is that they're never my go-to guys. I'm not going to ISUPK or IUIC to get edification. All right. In my early days, I watched other groups to see what the differences were, but I'm not going to them for breakdowns and information. Because they're not my elders. My elders are the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All right. Starting with the elder Tahar. All right. All right. What we got? Back speed. I say once through that. Once through that. All right. If thou, if Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 6 and 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. Yep. Break that down. It's a bunch of scenarios you can put, to your mind. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. Yeah, you can be friendly, but when it comes to like overall, like what you're going to trust that man with, you got to know a guy for 10, 15, 20 years to really know a guy. If you just meet him at camp and that's it, you don't know that person. You don't know that person. All right, guy's kind of secretive, not really. His business is his own. It's probably a cop. He's probably an informant. All right, to establish the authenticity or validity, it will probate. Let's give demonstration by action. Yeah, guy that's secretive. You don't really know much about him. He not available. All right, to subject to a test, experiment, comparison, analyst, or the like to determine quality, amount, acceptability, characteristics, etc. To prove or to show oneself having character or ability expected of one. Guys, he's busy. You don't know nothing about him. You don't know none of his family members. Now, these are points of data to prove a brother's authenticity. All right. And then you add it up, you come up with an equation. All right. Consider he might be law enforcement, might be a government agent. All right. Guy's a little too quiet. Guys maybe trying to excite a riot. You don't know. If you don't know him, you gotta prove him. All right. We had the last. It's naive, yeah, because we ain't naive. It's unsophisticated. All right. Not. All right. What we had here. This is Sirach 11. And judge Sirach 11:29. Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains. All right. Yeah, so you ain't supposed to just trust every person you meet is not a brother. All right, guy that's a little too nice. You got to watch out for guys. He just man, he's just so righteous, so humble. Like damn, or a guy that's too damn militant. Is too much on each side. It's dangerous. All right, like as a partridge taken and kept in a cage. Partridge, I think it's a bird. So is the heart of the proud, and like as a spy watcheth he for thy fall. I knew he was going to do that. See, that's what he get. So I'm going to sit in the side. I'm going to laugh. Yeah, see, he getting what he deserve. He getting handcuffs put on him, brother. Oh, you getting what he deserved. Yeah, because he was crazy anyway. Instead of just defending him, you'll know. Yeah, you don't know what men thinking. All right, that's why everybody's being watched. So is the heart. Because if you ain't know the man for 10, 15, 20 years, you don't really know that man. You don't know nothing about him besides he come to camp. Might be a spy, might be an informant. All right, so is the heart of the proud, and like as a spy watcheth he for thy fall. Yeah, you be careful when shit goes down in the camp. Watch who's not doing anything. Just watch them. Watch who seems unconcerned. Watch and see who's stepping up. Oh, I'm right there on. Whoa, what's going on? Why are you doing that to that man? You got a brother being harassed, getting brother getting cussed out by somebody, watch who steps up. No, it was in the proper order, obviously, and watch who doesn't. Watch who just chill. Look at the concern on their faces. Analyze them. Body language is important. Okay, especially when you can't. Body language is important. Then you say a lot of things without saying anything. All right. It says, for he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil, and in things worthy praise will lay blame upon thee. All right, I'm meditating the first part, but I'll look at this part. And in things worthy praise will lay blame upon thee. Like you do something righteous, but that guy was looking at it like, oh, that's awful, wicked. Shit. Yes. All right. So I'll leave that there. Prove a man in your camp. All right, before you give them any rank or responsibility, because there could be informants. Don't be naive to believe that you don't have law enforcement or informants within your ranks, or they come around, say shalom. We ain't got nothing to hide. So if you know me, or we're cordial with each other, you within your proper order, we communicating. I'm not communicating to you anything illegal, and the brothers ain't communicating to you anything illegal or anything like that. We so-called law-abiding citizens. Ain't have nothing to hide. All right, that's illegal. All right. So, Commanding General Yohan, I don't know if they flag videos or not, so I don't want to play any of the video. But what he's saying, where IUIC was, there was no reason for him to come over to where ISUBK was, and that provoked it. And the speakers were blasting, and he showed like them standing in front of the camp and all that. So IUIC was provoking them, But then ISUBK, you're guilty of doing that too. See right there, they're right in front of them. So IUIC is definitely provoking them. And according to what Yohan was saying, he's this is ISUBK's spot, according to what he said. So, yeah, it's just a bad situation. They both got things to blame, but hey, I'm not taking a side. Who's more right, who's more wrong? Look, I'm not taking a side. I know what I said in my previous video. All right, well, I'm making some adjustments. All right. They both both use bullying tactics. All right, that's all I got to say about that. All right, but it's a good video to launch. About law enforcement and false prophets. All right, so hope this video was edifying. Shalom.